Welcome to the Yoga HIIT class. This class will wake you up to your cardiovascular system. We focus on your fitness and fat burning while stretching and lengthening the body for a fun and fierce class. With my 40-40 method, you'll repeat 7 exercises, 40 seconds of work and 40 seconds of rest, leaving you sweaty and stretched. When you're ready, join me on your mat.
Let's begin standing at the front of your mat in our Yoga HIIT class. 40 seconds of work, 40 seconds of rest, 7 exercises, 2 rounds. First exercise, you're going to squat down into a yogi squat. You're going to step or jump back into a plank, drop the knees, chest, chin or chaturanga, pressing back into downward facing dog. And then step or jump back to the front of your mat. Let's begin. So, squatting down, jumping back, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, pressing back into downward facing dog, stepping or jumping to the front of your mat, squatting up. Squatting down, jumping back, chaturanga, pressing back into downward facing dog and jumping back to the front of your mat. Keep that going, steady pace. Chaturanga, press into downward facing dog and jumping forward. Squatting, gently jumping back, staying here in your active rest. Your active rest is plank pose for your first exercise. Squeeze the whole of your back body, squeeze the whole of your front body. Engage the glutes, engage the core, push the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. And dropping down, let me show you your next exercise. Knee hover, kick through. So hover the knees, kick the leg and reach for the foot. Hover and reach to the opposite side. You're rotating from side to side. Let's begin. Hover the knees, kicking through and extending, reaching for the toe, lifting the leg nice and high, lengthening the hamstrings. Working through the core, keeping your shoulders in line with your wrists, hovering each time you come back to the center, extending the leg. Seeing how far you can reach, how far you can lift the leg, twisting from side to side. Before you come into your rest. So resting here, for your rest, you're going to extend the foot out, reach for the toes or maybe reach for the foot. Lift the hips as high as you can, alternating round to the opposite side. Elongating the hamstrings. Knees, chest, chin, sliding through. Doing a short vinyasa to your next exercise, exercise 3. You have a chair pose, plank jack, and then jumping forward to chair. So arms lift, lower the hips into chair, jumping back, planking the feet, jumping and stepping up into chair. So jump or step, plank jack, jump or step into chair. So jumping and stepping, depending on your options, depending if you're still building your strength in your core. Plenty of different options to choose from. Chair pose, plank jack, jump to chair pose. And then your rest here is in chair, so you're sinking your hips down, you're sinking your ribs in, you're sinking your knees as low as they'll go, and you're pulling your thighs together, engaging your thighs, and you're gazing towards your palms, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, melt the shoulders down. Moving into your 4th exercise, got crescent lunge and a knee lift. Again, different options. You can shorten the lunge, keep your hands in prayer and lift the knee. Or you can step back into a crescent lunge and then lift the knee. Let's begin. crescent lunge and knee lift, engaging all of your front body as you lift the legs. So engaging the core, squeezing the abs as you lift the knee, opening the body, the back body as you do a back bend on the crescent lunge, knee lift. Using the breath, finding your balance. 40 seconds of work, 40 seconds of rest. And resting here, going to twist over to the side, looking towards your elbow, sinking down into the hips, stretching out through the body, the side body, in your side twist. Now pushing your front leg back so it's straight into pyramid pose, forehead down to the floor. And now come onto your back toe, high onto tiptoe, and sweep the leg up into three-legged dog, stepping through. And we'll repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Crescent lunge, knee lift, exercise 5. Choosing your option. Crescent lunge, lifting the knee or keeping the hands in prayer and shortening the lunge stance. Lifting and squeezing that core as you raise the knee towards the chest. Inhale and exhale. Engage the back leg as you lunge back, squeezing the front glute. Resting here, hands in prayer, twist out to the side. And your eye gaze is towards your elbow. Pushing the back heel away. Begin to lengthen the front leg into pyramid pose. Bring your forehead down towards the knee. Sweeping that leg up into three-legged dog. Stepping forward. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Bringing yourself into your next position. You've got half boat and a low boat. And we'll repeat this. You can make it harder by taking the hands off the floor. Or even harder still if you wanted to straighten your legs and then go into low boat. If you're doing your half boat, bring your heels in line with your knees. Exhale. Inhale. Use the breath. Try and keep the spine nice and straight, shoulders back and down. And hold it here. Hold it here in your half boat. If you feel strong today, maybe lengthen the legs, lengthen the arms. Hold it into the low boat and release. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Stepping back. Dropping the knees. Preparing for your 7th exercise. You have cobra, locust, and then flutter kicks. So cobra, locust, and flutter kicks. Let's begin. Inhale. Lift the legs, flutter the legs into locust, flutter kicks. Cobra, squeeze the elbows together. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Extend the arms, extend the legs, and kick the legs. Repeating this exercise for the full 40 seconds. Extending the spine, working the whole of the back body. Into your cobra, lifting high, keeping the thighs down, squeezing the elbows together, extending the arms, lifting the legs, lifting the chest, fluttering and kicking the legs. Holding it here into your cobra. Maybe holding your locust, extending the legs out. You've completed your first round. We're going to do everything again Second round, pushing back, extended child's pose. Downward facing dog. Stepping through to the front of your mat, preparing to start one more time. Wide leg yogi squat. Jump back into chaturanga. Downward facing dog, jump forward. Round 2. Yogi squat. Let's begin. Yogi squat, hands come down, step or jump back. Either knees, chest, chin or chaturanga, pressing back into downward facing dog. Step or jump forward to the front of the mat, squatting to stand. Squatting to lower, jumping back. Knees, chest, chin or chaturanga, pressing back, down dog, jumping forward. Squatting down, jumping back. Chaturanga on your toes, pressing to downward facing dog, jumping to squat. And let's continue. Chaturanga. And this time we will hold in your rest in plank pose. Squeeze in the core. You might be getting tired now, but try and keep going. Push all the energy into the mat. Lift the shoulders. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs. You're over halfway. Dropping the knees, moving into our second exercise. Knee hover, kick through. Knee hover, kicking through. Just showing you here. Let's begin. 40 seconds. Remembering to breathe. Hover and lift and stretch through the hamstrings. You're over halfway. Using the breath. Slowing down if you need to. And resting here, extending the leg, reaching for the toe, stretching through the hamstring, pressing in the foot on the floor, changing sides, extending and lifting the hips as high as you can. Hover the knees, downward facing dog. Stepping through. Third exercise, chair, plank, jack, and chair. Let's prepare. Chair pose, arms overhead, drop the hips, jumping back, plank, jack, jumping forward, straight to your chair. Your feet are sealed together, your legs are sealed together, plank, jack. Seal the legs as you jump forward into chair pose. Again, if you wish, you can actually step back rather than jump back. You can maybe miss out the jump here if it gets a bit too much, or slow down the exercise. Just while you're building your stamina, building your strength. Relaxing here in chair. Active stretch, active relaxing, active rest. Looking towards your hands, tailbone tucked under, ribs tucked in. Well done. Moving into your next exercise, your fourth exercise, crescent lunge, knee lift. Hands in prayer, choose your option. Stepping back and raising the knee. Stepping back, raise the arm overhead. Knee lift, engaging the core. Steadying the balance, using your breath to focus and concentrate. Inhale, exhale. Keep it going, you're nearly there. Lifting the knee nice and high. Exhale. Raise the arms overhead, sink the knees down, twist to the side, gaze towards your elbow. Pressing your front leg back into pyramid pose, forehead towards the knee. Swinging the front leg up into downward facing, into three-legged dog. Stepping forward. Inhale, exhale. Preparing for the next side, next round. Round 5. Crescent lunge, knee lift. Choosing your option, squeezing the abdominals on the knee lift, extending the leg, lifting the chest, back bending the chest, crunch the abdominals, crescent lunge, and a knee lift. 40 seconds. Active rest. Sinking down into the hips, twisting to the side, looking towards the elbow. Pressing the front leg back into pyramid pose, dropping the forehead down towards the shin or the knee. Swinging the front leg back into three-legged dog. Stepping forward. Lowering yourself down into half boat, low boat. 40 seconds. As an option, you can take your hands down to the floor. As a modification, or you can raise your arms. You can actually lengthen and straighten your legs. 40 seconds. It's your 6th exercise. Coming towards the end of today's practice, the end of today's HIIT class. And hold it here in low boat. Squeeze the abdominals. Hold it in half boat or maybe full boat. Navasana. Pull the legs towards the chest, lifting the hips, stepping back into a plank, lower down, preparing for the next exercise. You got Cobra Locust and 6 flutter kicks. Squeezing those elbows, squeezing those hands, kicking those legs. And let's begin. Raise, Cobra, lower down, extend the arms and lift the legs. Keeping those elbows squeezing together. Shoulders away from the ears. Working the whole of the back body. Inhaling. And slowly exhaling. Using the breath and hold. Holding it here for your 40 seconds of rest. Squeezing the upper body, squeezing the lower body. Inhale, exhale, pushing back into extended child's pose. Coming to the end of the practice, well done. Thank you for joining me today for today's yoga HIIT session. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Namaste.